All right, let's do it. Understanding B7. Understanding B7. Part 9. Jeez. Part 9. With me, O'Neill Gerald. Hello, everybody. Wonderful to see. Well, I can't see your faces, but it's wonderful to be around y'all again. With O'Neill Gerald. And we're breaking down Understanding B7 with O'Neill Gerald, and it's part 9, High Heels. Guys, and I'm pinning this comment. Okay, wonderful. Hi, everybody. Everyone pour in to the room. Come on into the room. I have everything a little bit closer, so hopefully you guys will be able to partake tonight. Okay, let me just make sure I'm not going to be... You're not going to cut off my head. Maybe I should zoom this out a little bit more. I think I'm going to bring this out a little bit more, just so that I have a little bit of space. And then I'm going to raise this up. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let me see, because I still need to be able to see you and what you guys are saying. Hello, everybody. Good night. Good evening. It's wonderful to see you all, and well, figuratively see you all. It's time for Understanding B7 again. Come on in, everybody. Come on in, everybody. Oh my goodness. Today is the day that we talk about high heels. But people, come on in. Come on in. I am so excited. This has been such a wonderful week. This is the 9th time that we are gathering to break down some wonderful Brandy runs, and today we're not just talking about Brandy, but we're talking about her daughter Sy'rai. And I'm so excited just to even talk about a little bit of the similarities and the nuances and their deliveries on high heels. And I'm just excited. What was your second favorite song on the album? JZZY? Is it Jazzy? Come on, second favorite song on the album. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm going to do tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk, because this is a shorter song. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk a little bit about what we did with Unconditional Oceans. And that is using, breaking down how we can actually hear this song better. I never really said it that way before, but that's really what we're doing. When I pluck out notes on the piano and when I'm, playing chords and things like that, what I'm doing is I'm trying to activate your ears. Because the majority of you, the majority of people that listen to let's not say that. The majority of the people that are here are Black, and a lot of you have musical upbringings that are Black in tradition. And the wonderful thing about Black music is that we tend to hear a lot of things that we don't necessarily know we don't necessarily know what we're hearing, but we've heard it before. And even if you're not Black and you're in the room, wonderful thing that is happening for everybody that listens to music that is inspired by Black music is that same tradition is there. It's the reason why we can sing runs. It's the reason why we can say, ooh, that was a nice run, or ooh, that was nice, or etc. and so forth. So I'm going to dig into a little bit of your own personal hearing, and I'm going to bring it out, okay? All right, so now, Before we get into, so why don't we just start at the beginning of high heels? And what we're going to do is we're going to see what the chord progression is, what the chord progression is doing, so that we can have a context in which we can hear everything that Brandy and Sy'rai are doing. Okay, so let's listen a little bit. Okay, here we go. Sing, Sy'rai! Okay, I'm gonna stop there. All right, now, and I'm going to bring it back to the beginning because this violin, this distorted violin that we're hearing is actually giving us the information that we need in order for us to be able to understand this. Let's listen again. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down these notes so that we can hear the notes a little bit slower. Okay? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's do it one more time, and we're going to do it even slower. I want you to really start to dig into these notes, because that's what we're really going to start talking about tonight. One, two, three, four. Okay. Now, let's listen to a little bit of what's going on in this melody, because this melody is not just a melody, it's actually shaping a lot of the chords. So we got do 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 and do 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 do. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Do 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 do. Right? Okay, cool. So so what we're going to do is with this information, we're going to actually listen to the chords that are built on each of these notes. So, right? Okay, that's the first chord. Sorry. And I'm gonna play it this way. Right? Now, okay, that's the next chord, right? One more time. That's the last chord. Okay, so now I'm going to play them in the context of this little lick here. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up, but we're still not gonna be at full speed. Okay, we're still listening deeply. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah. Right? Okay, so now we have a context to hear what Brandy and Sy'rai are doing. Let's listen to it at full speed. I'm doing this over and over so that we can establish that context, because if we don't have that context, it's going to be hard for us to understand the tonality of what's going on, okay? So let's do it. I have to press and then go. Here we go. So that's the context of what's going on, okay? Now, I have written behind me actually the minor scale, which is basically what Sy'rai and Brandy are using to sing. It simply goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. I'm gonna sing it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? And so the note that we're going to be listening for is actually... right? this note just at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It's this note right here. Right? Get that in your system, okay? Because that's going to be the note that Brandy and Sy'rai are going to be improvising around. And when we are able to hear what they're doing in the context of these chords, it actually feels a lot more. Yeah, we just feel it a lot more, okay? Now, why don't we talk about Sy'rai, right? It's time. Let's talk about Sy'rai. Now, Sy'rai is Brandy's daughter, we all know. And I love the fact that Sy'rai's voice is different from Brandy's. However, the choices that she's making, a lot of the choices that she's making are the same. So let's listen to Sy'rai's performance, shall we? Okay. Absolutely. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out with Sy'rai is the fact that that she's conforming her vowels to an I. So when I say that we're conforming vowels, we basically have words that have different vowels. We have A, E, I, O, U, A, E, O, U. So we have high heels. High heels. I feel good. But Sy'rai isn't singing it that way. She's actually conforming it to an I. So if you were to kind of say with me, I. So instead of high heels, she's saying high heels. High heels. I feel good. Right? And then even a lot of the other vowels that a lot of the other vowels that are around that you'll find, she's still conforming it to that IH, that I. High heels, I feel good. Out here, I'm one in a zillion, right? And so she's using that shape to tell her other vowels how to sound. And so for us, it sounds like a unique tone, when in reality, it's a vowel that she's using to create this tone. I love it. Just like mom, create that tone. So let's listen. Whoops, sorry. High heels. Listen. Yeah? Right? Can you hear it? That IH? Let's do it one more time. High heels. Yeah. Absolutely, Sy'rai. That's exactly. Listen. And I'm probably gonna have to break it down later, but yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, listen, and the choices that Sy'rai's making out here, they seem low-key, but they're actually monstrous. I'm like, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Second thing about Sy'rai, about her voice that I want to talk about, is actually the fact that her voice is a lot lighter than Brandy's. Now, a lot of that has to do with age and also experience. Brandy is, how old is Brandy now? I think she's 40, at least, or, hold on. Let me not, okay, oh my gosh. Okay, Brandy, age. Good. Yeah, she is 41. Okay, not trying to mess this up. Anyway, Brandy's 41. And not only is Brandy 41, but she's also had Sy'rai. And so when women have children, like for some strange reason, their voices tend to change. And so with a lot of those factors, including how far Brandy's come in terms of her maturity, along with her experiences, her voice has changed. Now Sy'rai, she's about 18, almost 19, I think it is. So there is a difference in terms of where they are vocally, in terms of their womanhood. Sy'rai's voice is still maturing, and so that lightness that we're getting in her voice is also a fact that, like, her voice is maturing. But if you compare the two, there is a slight difference in weight. So I'm like, so it's wonderful to hear how the two of them have different takes on the same type of lines. So that's another thing. Sy'rai's voice is lighter. Now, when we talk about lighter voices, we have to be careful, because sometimes we can confuse having a lighter build to your voice, as in your voice is built lighter, versus someone that is using their voice in a light fashion, or they're using they're lightening their tone. Sy'rai is I would say that Out of the two, Brandy's actually doing a lot more lightning, at least in the second part, at least at the beginning of the second verse. But Sy'rai, in terms of build, her voice is lighter. And the thing that comes with a lighter build of a voice, as in your voice is made that way, your vocal folds are actually like have a propensity, is that the right word? Or just like a natural disposition to actually float higher. We got a word I want to teach you, or a word I want you to remember, is called tessitura, okay? Tessitura, okay? Now, the thing about tessitura is that it simply explains a few things. It explains like the general range of where an instrument might play. So there's many different uses of the word, but the use of the word that I'm going to be using tonight is simply where a person's voice blossoms, or where their voice sounds its best. Now, again, some disclaimers. Not everybody uses their voice with perfect vocal technique. And so the different highlights that come to your voice, I love that word that you used, Ephraim Zuniga. I love that word, highlights. The highlights that are in your voice, you may not necessarily hear them, or you may not necessarily feel them, simply because you're not using your voice correctly. So that's just a little bit of a disclaimer. But if we listen to Sy'rai, her tessitura, her sweet spots where her voice blossoms, is higher than where Brandy's does. And so when we hear that wonderful run that she does in the that wonderful lick that she does in the we actually hear the true character of where her voice rings. Let's listen. Yeah. Yeah, right? And I heard that, and I was just like, Sy'rai, your range is just getting started. And so like, as her voice matures, as she gets better, I can see her having a lot higher of like range that is a lot higher. Now, now we talked a little bit about her higher propensity, but let's talk about her lows, because she's actually doing some things here as well in this first verse. Right now, so to the untrained ear, you know that note here is just and praying for. It's just a note. It's just something that's in thin air. But for someone that actually studies music and studies the voice, she's actually in her lows. Like, she's getting into the depths of her register. You can hear that she's on the edge of somewhat of the edge of her range. And that's not to say that she can't go lower, but it's to say that in terms of tessitura, or her sweet spots, or where her voice blossoms, we're actually getting into the latter part of we're getting to the deeper or the deepest parts of her range. But even though she's at the bottom of her range, she is like her execution is like the thing is full. That is a full sound that we're getting. And I'm just like, wait a minute, she's navigating her voice the same way that Brandy would. I'm just like, Sy'rai, sing your face off. I'm just like, this is just great. And it seems that Sy'rai's just taking that what is it? She's taking notes from her mother, and just in terms of, that propensity, I keep on using that word, propensity to use her lows. And I'm just like, the clarity that is down there, I'm just like, come on, Sy'rai. I was like, right, oh my goodness. Like, she's just crazy. Now, so that was a little bit of the first verse. So let's take that into account, and let's listen to that as we go through the first verse, okay? Mm-hmm. Right? Now listen to this low. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I'm gonna come back to some of the ideas, and we're kind of gonna get into a little bit more of like that intro that I gave you. But let's talk about Brandy now, because we want to like now it's a really sensitive thing to compare voices, and maybe this actually grinds my gears. It actually gets on my nerves. A lot of people that don't have a degree in music. And I don't say that to toot my own horn, but it's just like the lack of qualification mixed with people that don't have, like they don't have online, they have online notoriety, but they don't have a face on their profile picture, are commenting and comparing these singers and making them enemies. It's what happened with Brandy and Monica. And in comparing voices, it can be, there's a risk to have a lot of that happen where it's like, Sy'rai's better than Brandy, Brandy's better than Sy'rai, or Brandy's better than Monica, Monica's better than Brandy. But there's actually a lane that we can take in terms of celebrating voices and just looking at their strengths, looking at what they do well, and actually using facts and using concrete facts and objectivity to actually compare the voices and see what's different about them and celebrate the differences, celebrate the similarities, and actually have a fun time. So comparison doesn't have to be this pulling down of one person and, the other person. It doesn't need to be all that. So just keep that in mind as we talk about Brandy, okay? Yeah. Sorry, she just did something, and I was just like, But anyway, like one thing to note now, as we get into the second verse of High Heels, is Brandy is this master of tone manipulation, and she is, and this is actually something we talked about in the Washington Post article. I actually saw someone mention it. Maybe I should mention it so that you don't. Maybe I'll just mention it and then move on. But actually, I was actually in the Washington Post with some quotes about Brandy. I don't know if you guys saw. Well, actually, it was posted here. And Forever Brandy 1, shout out to you guys. You guys celebrated me. I was so happy. I was remotely close to Brandy because I talked to somebody that talked to Brandy. So it was really cool. And in there, we were actually talking about how Brandy actually flips her tone every which way in order to communicate emotions and communicate feeling, and this second verse is a wonderful side of that, because we see Brandy actually emulating what Sy'rai's doing. Now I'm wondering, I really wonder. I feel like in the way that verse 2 happens and what we know about Brandy's tone and what we've heard throughout B7, it really does sound like she's emulating. However, that could not be the case, but that is my theory, okay? I would have to ask her in order to confirm that fact. But the one thing about what Brandy's doing here is that, I'm not even going to comment on that, but my foot is in the door. Anyway, but with Brandy, what was I saying now? At the beginning of the second verse, Brandy is lightening her tone. She's lightening her tone to match what Sy'rai is doing, okay? So let's listen to a little bit of what Sy'rai did, and then let's go to what Brandy did, right? And guys, I am not Brandy's biggest fan. I just like music a lot. Okay, keep that in your mind. Now let's listen to what Brandy did. Right? She's emulating. I'm just like, this is great. Like, even if you listen to the way that Brandy's opening up her tone, she's not exactly as much IH, like, high heels, I feel good. But she's actually putting a lot of Sy'rai's placement on these new lyrics that she's singing in verse 2. Like a lifetime since I've been, right? So she's listening to what Sy'rai's doing. She's like, oh, that's crazy. Let me do it too. And it's just like a conversation. I love that. I absolutely love that. And not only that, but she's actually lightening her, I keep saying that. She's lightening her tone. She's not singing as strong as she usually would or could, or rather how we would usually hear her on her natural tone, okay? Okay? Yeah? Now, when we get to wrong place, where am I going? Wrong place. Sorry. Yeah, wrong place. She switches it up. She starts out by emulating Sy'rai, and then when she gets to wrong place, we hear her in her true tone. In her true tone, okay? Now, let me see. And just so I see a question about Rather Be. Just so you know, all of the Understanding B7s are on my YouTube channel, O'Neal Gerald. If you just search O'Neal Gerald, I'm gonna pop up, and it's probably gonna be an Understanding B7 video. All of them are there, and they're also right here on Forever Brandy 101. They're all on the IGTV, so they're all available for you. Hours and hours of me talking about Brandy anyway, but they're all available for you. That's the thing. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna comment on that. I usually wouldn't, but somebody said no. She actually gave her that placement. Now, it's true. Sy'rai gets her placement, and she gets what she does from Brandy. It's very clear. Sy'rai is definitely an emulation, a child, literally, of Brandy vocally. However, Brandy also can hear things that Sy'rai does and actually emulate it in a way that is not usual for her. So, in my opinion, when I heard the second verse, I was like, Brandy is in a form that actually we don't usually hear her in. She doesn't usually, shape her vowels that way for that entire time. And so there was a little bit of emulation there, but we all know that Brandy is the original. Okay? All right. So now, is there anything else that I want to say about Brandy? Hopefully that covers that. Now, yes, when we get to wrong place, Brandy is switching up. Okay, so let's listen to the beginning. Lightens up, and then here we go. Right? So the difference between the way that she started and the way that she sang wrong place is also something that we like to call vocal onset. So okay. I don't have an analogy right now, but you can have a hard vocal onset and you can have a soft vocal onset. Hard. With harder vocal onsets, we usually get harder consonants, and we also get harder attacks in terms of the glottis. So like a glottal attack. So if I were to say I, or it's wrong, right? So if I were to use the vowel of wrong, ong, wrong. So I get the hard R, and then also with the O, I get a hard vocal onset. Ong, wrong. If I were to have a softer vocal onset, the R would be softer, and that O would also be softened. Wrong. Harder, wrong. Softer, wrong. Now, in the beginning of that second verse, Brandy had a softer onset. Now, when we get into this next line, she's switching it up, and we're getting wrong place. Okay. Okay. Now for me, oh my goodness, like the way that Brandy navigates chords is and you can tell that she loves Kim Burrell. Like, she just has this way of just coming back home. Like we said in the first Understanding B7. If you remember, we were talking about coming back home. This is actually the concept that we're going to talk about right now. Because of where Brandy and Sy'rai are improvising, there's a lot of room for, or rather, if you're not necessarily an improviser, you can get lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And for you to come back home over these chords, right? It might be hard. But for her, what she did there, wrong place, she used, right, a tone that was in an existing chord before, and then she returns to the home key. Wrong place, wrong place. And then she comes down to the bottom, wrong place. And then she's right back at that one. And if we actually look at this, because of the tone, or rather the key that Sy'rai, that the melody is in, it allows her to very smoothly glide back. Wrong place, and she skips the 2. Okay. Okay. Now, let me go to and she actually does it again on "Don't Judge." Let's listen again. Right, and that's another return back home. Now it's hard because she starts on that so she's actually starting on the one right here. Don't, but she's actually going into the chord tones of that regular key that was set up by here. Right? Don't judge, don't judge, right? So she's not just singing any type of note. She's falling into where that original chord is. She's coming back home. Okay? Right? And just the way that she just, I'm just like, come on, just do it for me again. Right? Right? Yes. Who in their right mind? And you know, I just can't. But anyway, but there was something in I can't. Sorry. I can't. Anyway, hey Dave, but I thought that maybe there was something in the middle. For those of you that don't know, that's Kimberell talking, like giving some. Oh my gosh, I just can't. So actually now would actually be a good time for me, because someone actually asked, am I a vocal coach? Yes, I am. And so. Yes, I am. And so, if you go to my personal Instagram, that is at O'Neil Gerald, it's right there pinned in the comments for that. In the comments for you, you'll actually get access to my webinar, which is 5 mistakes that keep singers from singing their best and how to overcome them. Okay? And the reason why I'm talking about those is because in my years as a vocal coach, I've seen so many things, and not just as a vocal coach, but as a choir conductor. I started conducting in school as well. And I've seen some very some repetitive issues that I decided to say, you know what? Let me tell people how to overcome them. So I poured my heart and soul into a 20-minute webinar that you can watch right now. It's completely free to you. Go to the link in my bio and you'll get the Understanding B7 package. You'll get the link to 5 mistakes that keep singers from singing their best and how to overcome them. And also, if you want vocal lessons with me, I'll just put it up here. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll put it down. It's actually just call.o'neilgerald.com. Call.o'neilgerald.com. And we can have a conversation, and what it's called is a vocal consultation. And I listen to your voice and we figure out, what would be the steps we would take going forward. And I would give you details and what it looks like to be one of my students. So you can go to call.o'neilgerald.com. You can also go to the webinar. And then also after this, I'm actually having an after party for Understanding B7. I do it every week now. We have a wonderful Zoom call where we talk about Brandy. Brandy. We also talk about the present day music, how we feel about it. It was so fun over the last few weeks that we've been doing it. And I want you to be there. So what it is that you pay $5 to get into the room. You pay $5 to get into the room, and that also helps to support me as a creator, as a video creator, and as a teacher, as an online teacher, because I am doing this for free, and by the end of this, we'll probably have about 12 hours of me talking about Brandy. So if you want to go there and support me, and if you want to give more than $5, you can do that as well. But go to that page, and you'll be able to have even more access to me. So we'll be able to talk, and you'll be able to pick my brain. You'll be able to ask me questions. We can just hang and just talk about Brandy and music and just have so much fun together. So click the link in my bio and just head to the Understanding B7 after party. And then you'll be able to see where the Zoom room will be. And then after this, we'll be able to talk and have fun, okay? So that's that. Hopefully you get all of the information. Again, go to the link in my bio, not Forever Brandy 101, but my bio, @O'Neil okay? So now, I want to do something that we do every week. I want to go through some harmonies and I want to go through some runs. Now, I want you to continue to memorize this, okay? And we'll kind of sing through the scale again, just so that we remember. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? And that is going to be the context by which we break down these runs. Okay? So, why don't we get into, okay. Oh my gosh, Brandy's in the room. Oh my gosh, Brandy's in the room. Anyway, hi Brandy. Anyway. Okay, so let's get to, okay, what should we talk about first, guys? We should talk about, okay, you know what? Let's go to Don't Judge. I love that part. I need to go there. We need to go there together. And we actually just need to talk about that. Actually, you know what? For the sake of time, we need to actually get a little bit further. And I actually want to talk about Sy'rai and the way that she's actually navigating a lot of these, oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry. Just the way that she's navigating the pre-chorus, okay? Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, guys, now, what Sy'rai is doing on the bottom of this wonderful harmony, okay? Okay, I need you to hear that again. Listen to what she's doing. Sy'rai's just killing it. Like, I just need to hear that one more time, okay? Let's listen, everybody. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Brandy. I love you. Okay, anyway. Found a way to escape your doubts. Okay, so let's listen to it together, okay? All right, now. All right. Found a way. So I'm going to pluck this out note by note. So, found a way. Okay, let me just make sure I'm getting lyrics right, because, and it's not a pre-chorus, this is actually the chorus. Found a way to escape your doubts. So, found a way to escape your doubts. Okay? Now, the reason why I love this so much is because Sy'rai is really revealing herself as a melody writer. Hey, Sy'rai's in here too. Oh yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk in the third person anyway. The reason why I love this is because Sy'rai's really revealing herself as a melody writer, and there's something about the way that Brandy has always improvised, and now the way that Sy'rai is improvising. It's just I'm hearing just melodies that are being written and different ways of singing the same line. So let's listen to just a little bit of this line, or maybe I'll just plot it with the black marker. So we got, found a way to escape your doubts. Okay. Now, again, let's keep this chord progression in mind, okay? We're gonna slow it down, and I'm going to play over it so that you can hear what they're hearing when they're singing, okay? So, let me just rewind a little bit. Okay. Found a way. Right? Okay. Now the place that I want to focus on right now is actually skip your doubts. I want to focus at right here. It's actually a B. And if you were listening, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's actually the 2 that we're getting on. So if I were to put a 2 here, right? It's actually a 2. Hopefully that looks like a 2 there. Does it look like a 2? Yes, it is. Okay, so find a way to escape your doubts. And the reason why she's landing there is because there's actually a chord that was already in that violin melody from the beginning. So we got and I'll kind of play it here. So find a way to escape your doubts, right? And then on the top, find a way to escape your doubts, right? So she's purposely falling somewhere, and I'm just like, if you even look at the contour of the line, it's a great line. I love it. Anyway, I love it. Okay, let me see. Let me just see and make sure that I am going to get everywhere that I want to. Now let's get to there's not a grain that I'm taking now. There's not a grain that I'm taking now. Oh my goodness. Okay. There's not a grain that I'm taking out. I just can't, guys. Right? And so again, we're getting, and oh my goodness, we're just getting. I'm just like, okay, so there's one way to sing this line. Then there's a second way to sing this line, and then there's a third. Like, I'm just like, and I feel like, and Brandy, you could confirm this for me. It's like investing time in finding every single way to sing a line, and then deciding to actually, okay, I like this one. Okay, let's do this. And then from singing a line over and over, you find so many different ways to navigate the melody. Now I'm gonna go back to the Brandy side for a moment, and I wanted to actually get into there was a harmony that I wanted to get into, and I wanted to make sure. Oh, Got Feelings, yeah. It's in her verse. Okay, first of all, that lick. I was like, oh. Okay, now, so let's listen to this one a little bit, because there's a little bit of a cluster, and it can be hard to actually pick out the notes. But let's listen to it, okay? Okay, and I want you to remember, it's all in the chord progression. Okay, let's listen to it a few more times. Okay, I'm gonna slow it down a little bit so that we can hear it. And again, this wonderful feature's on YouTube for us, so yeah. Okay, so the first one I want to get for you is Got Feelings. And maybe Brandy, you could tell us, are you singing? Is it both you and Sy'rai in the backgrounds all the time, or is it like just you and then just Sy'rai? Is there like a blend? Let us know. Oh my gosh, because this is just some wonderful stuff that's going on. Okay, got feelings. Okay, now let me go. Got feel, and I'm gonna put a little bit of just a little bit of an inflection because it's not too long. Got feelings, right? So that's the first one I'm gonna put in there. And actually, it sucks. My green marker actually gave out, and it does, like, if I were to show you, I wanted to put this in different colors, but my green marker doesn't work. So I have to buy new markers, so it sucks. But anyway, okay, now. Okay, now the next one I actually want to get is right above it. Got feelings. And the wonderful thing about that one is it stays consistent. Got feelings. Okay, so let me, okay. Okay, wait, hold on. I need to read this. This is official information. Okay, it's me on the main note in the hook, and all the harmonies are Sy'rai in the hook. In my verse, I tried to sound like her because she left the studio on the parts. I wanted her to sing in my verse. Hey, that's some information. I'm gonna read it again, guys. Okay. In my verse, I tried to sound like her because she left the studio on the parts that I wanted her to sing in my verse. Oh, so she is emulating. That's okay. This is so good because, like, and Brandy, you're in the room. It's so wonderful to see the I guess the cyclical inspiration. Like, you know, Sy'rai learning from her mom, and then Brandy learning from her daughter. Like, it's humility at it's humility, and it's just like when we learn from one another, there is so much that can actually be gained, and it just goes to show that none of us have arrived. All of us can keep learning. Okay, so we got two harmonies right now. Got feelings, and then we got feelings, and then the next one I want to get is got feelings. Okay. Got feelings. Got feelings. Got feelings. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I really would love to put these in different colors, but that's just what's going on tonight. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Exactly. So in all of your backgrounds, you're trying to I love it. This is awesome. It's just those choices. I love it. I'm honored that you're in the room. Anyway, got feelings. Now, again, and I'm gonna, because like I think I pointed this out in another song. I can't remember which one it was. But the thing is, with harmonies, you can have harmonies that are spread out. So like right? That's actually very spread out. Or if I were to just use two notes, you can have harmonies that are more spread out. Anyway, oh, you're amazing. I love you. Anyway, okay, yes, okay. Let me just be honest. I'm totally standing out and I'm fanning out because, yeah, I am, and I have a right to. Anyway, let me just get that up. Okay. So you can have harmonies that are a little bit more spread out, and then you also have harmonies that are a little bit closer, right? And then you also, if you want, you can make them a little bit closer, and then they create something that's called dissonance. And the dissonance, it kind of sounds to the ear when you put it, when it's by itself, it kind of sounds like, what is that? It's kind of, it's whatever. But when you actually add a little bit of dissonance with a little bit of more space, you actually get what we got here. So, got feelings, and then we got feelings, right? So we start close, and then we get far out, and then we get feelings. So right? Anyway, oh gosh. Catch your breath, Neely. Catch your breath, O'Neil. Anyway, okay, now There was an idea that I actually wanted to talk about near the end. Right? Okay, now, and this is something that you may not necessarily get all the time in harmony, but it's one thing that Brandy does so well, and now Sy'rai is doing wonderfully. Like, I heard her song, what was it? Oh my goodness. It's slipping my mind right now. But she had a song that she released, and I was just like, you're doing it. Like, you're absolutely doing it. But in this particular part here, she actually does some wonderful stuff where it's, I'm just like, she does a, yeah, yeah, yeah. And the reason why I like it is because it actually shows how harmony is not just about, at your best. Thank you so much, Brandy. At your best. Listen, everyone needs to go and listen to At Your Best. Like, if you have not heard that thing, I'm just like, I was screaming because I was just like, yes, yes, you're doing it. And just, oh my goodness. But anyway, now, you guys don't pressure her to come into the after party. She doesn't have to if she doesn't want to. She's in the room, but yeah, I would love if you were there too. But yeah, let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath. Let me gather myself. Anyway, but the what she does, yeah, yeah. It does a little bit of what we've talked about before, in terms of syncopation. So if we were to kind of knock out the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then we picked it up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's count it together, and then you're gonna hear a little bit of what it does, because it adds to the rhythm, and I think that's something that singers can kind of forget. We actually contribute to rhythm as well. Okay, that's too slow. Okay, so I'm gonna knock it here. Let's count together. 1, 1, yeah, yeah. Right? So we got 1, 2, yeah, yeah, a minute on me. Right? So it actually, actually also with mixing, you can control where the sound is, where you're hearing voices. And so when you got the lead, or when you got some layers that are happening, you can actually hear the sound kind of bouncing around your ears. And so you can it's almost like someone's hitting the side of your head, and then the front of your head, and then the diagonals of your head. So it could be, yeah, yeah, spend a minute on me. Or, yeah, yeah, spend a minute on me. And so you're feeling this in different parts. And if you're in the car, you're feeling it around you. Yeah, yeah, I spent a minute on me. And that's the wonderful thing about vocal layering. I love it. I just love this. Okay, is there another... Okay, maybe I can hear from you guys. Is there a run that I did not do, that I did not get to, that I should have gotten to? Okay? Okay, and just so you guys know, I actually do not run this page. I can take no credit for it. Shout out to the person that runs this page. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying your name, so I'm not going to say your name. But, and I don't want to. But, yeah, shout out to Forever Brandy 101, because they are the ones that gave me this platform. I said to myself, I want to go live and talk about B7 so I can practice teaching live. And they reached out to me and they said, hey, why don't you do it live here? And I just love it, because now I saw someone was like, you should do the rap. I'm like, I can't. But anyway, they reached out to me and they said, why don't you absolutely do this? And I was like, absolutely, let's do it. And for 9 weeks now, this is the 9th week, we have been going through this. And if you want more information about Brandy, like that, of me talking about Brandy, just go to my channel, O'Neal Gerald. It's it'll be, I think it's in the Understanding B7 package. There's actually a playlist that's called Brandy, and you can watch all the videos that are there, because What About Us changed my life. So you can get that there. I also want you to be aware of the after party, everybody, because the after party, we're actually going to get to continue to talk about Brandy, continue to talk about music and where we see it today, and just, have an amazing time. So go to the link at my bio, at O'Neal Gerald. That is, oh my goodness, but yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so very happy. I could cry. But anyway, if you go to the link in my bio, at O'Neal Gerald, you'll be able to see the you'll be able to see the Understanding B7 after party, and then just for $5 to help support me, and for my time, you can go there and we'll have fun and we'll talk about Brandy and we'll talk about music, etc. and so forth. Now, we have 5 minutes left. Is there anything is there any run? I didn't see any runs. And next week we're going to be talking about Baby Mama. I'm absolutely excited for that. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm like out of breath. But I'm so happy. Or do you guys have any questions? Is there anything I said that you would like some clarity on? Okay, so someone said role plays. Oh, role plays. What is it again? Role plays. Oh yeah, right. Oh, there's not a green on take it out. Right? Yeah. Okay, that's the one we're gonna do. Okay. Going out of the last few choruses, Sy'rai does, and that's the thing. And that's what made me realize, okay, Sy'rai's gonna be like a huge problem vocally. Like she's about to do some monstrous things because you can hear how her voice just opens up. And she's singing the chord. Anyway, okay, so let's listen to it a few times, and then this will be the last run, and then we'll do the after party. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Okay, one more time. Okay, now there's something that kind of gets because of the clusters there, I'm not totally sure of what exactly she's doing there, but I'm gonna make a little bit of an assumption. So we got now this is a D5. I'm just like, and this is the same note that Brandy hits with a so you know, whatever that run is. Anyway, and I'm just like I'm just like anyway, there's not a green, and I feel like there's a wiggle there, and this is the part that I'm kind of assuming green, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I'm just gonna go with that right there. There's not a green, and then that I'm taking, and then she goes taking. And I love the way she slides there. And we're almost out of yeah, but again, this is a songwriter's line. Now, there's not green that I'm taking wait. Yeah, I didn't put in the things there. But anyway. And that's one thing that I also love about the style that is that Sy'rai just brings to everything. It's the inflections. There is this gentle slide that she's bringing to her approach to the notes. So there's no grade that I'm taking. Take it out. And then actually there's a little bit even what is it? There's a little bit of a vocal slide that's there. It's a little bit of chromaticism, or not chromaticism, but it's just like I'm just like Sing Sy'rai. Anyway, let's listen to it one more time. And then it's the end of our time. So I hope to see you guys in the Understanding B7 after party. Okay? But anyway. Again? Yeah, sing Sy'rai. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, okay, first of all, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Brandy, for being in the room. Thank you, Sy'rai, for being in the room as well. And just, the two of you are doing, like, this is just a wonderful, I feel like legacy is on this song. I heard it, I was just like the baton is it's not just that the baton is being passed on, but it's also just like, I love how Brandy just respects her daughter as a vocalist, and just like, I'm just like, I love it. So, that was it for High Heels this week. Next week we're gonna be talking about Baby Mama, which is the first single off of B7. I love Baby Mama. Like, it's like I when it came out, first of all, I was just like, Brandy's back, and so I was just like listening to it. But there's just so many nuances that I absolutely love. So I hope to see you next week. You guys are amazing. There's almost 90 people in this room. Hope to see you at the Understanding B7 after party. Click the link in my bio. Head to the Understanding B7 after party place. And then we'll talk. Okay? So I'll see you later. Bye, everyone. God bless ya. Oh.